Grey Matters, the channel that promotes the fact that the older generation still matters and has relevance, and which looks at issues that matter to the older generation. Now, as you will know from the short that I put out last week, this will probably be the last long-form video I do for a few weeks, as I'm off to have a knee replacement operation. Now, following some suggestions from viewers, I've decided that I should document the whole thing. Well, not the operation itself, obviously. I'll be on another planet when that happens. But certainly what happens in the hospital and what's required for recovery. I'm sure there are many people out there facing the same or similar operations, and many might have concerns about it. So maybe by covering my situation for the channel, it will help to demystify it and maybe reassure those people. So what are we going to do? Well, whether I record everything and then edit it into one long video later, or do it as a kind of regular video diary, hasn't yet been decided. And what do you think will be best? And of course, I'll have to get permission from the individual physios to record my progress while in hospital. And what I'm going to do in this video is give you a little background, which you might or might not relate to, and then talk about a bit of a dilemma I've had. So, let me first give you the background. My knee gave way in October, and it was diagnosed then, I was diagnosed then with a torn ligament. And it was going to be about 10 weeks recovery. And all was going very well. I wasn't using a stick, the pain was minimal, until week 8, when it flared up again, only worse. And I was back on a stick and given much stronger pain meds. And I was then referred for an urgent MRI, which revealed a tear in the medial meniscus, which you can see here. Now, the medial meniscus is a small sort of crescent-shaped piece of cartilage that acts as a shock absorber, which cushions the joint when you walk, run or jump, generally move around. But not only did it have a tear, but a fragment had broken away and was lodged in the knee cavity. And there was also full thickness cartilage loss. And there was extensive osteoarthritis at the bottom of the femur, where it meets the knee. And if that all wasn't enough, the bone marrow in the tibia was swollen. And the risk there is that the more it swells, if it pushes too hard against the bone, it could result in a stress fracture. And they take a heck of a long time to heal. Some don't even heal, as I understand it. So with all that going on, I was urgently referred to a local private hospital as an NHS patient. Unfortunately, there was a 4-month wait to see a surgeon just for the initial consultation, and then who knows how much longer after that for the actual op. Months and months, probably a year. Now, I've had a knee replacement, partial knee replacement before, and it was 18 months before I got the operation done after initial diagnosis, and those 18 months I really couldn't bear to repeat. And those of you who have experienced knee trauma will know how painful it is all the time. So waiting for God knows how long for treatment was not a prospect I could endure, to be honest. So what's the alternative? Well, that's where my dilemma came in, because the only real alternative is private treatment. But I've always been against private healthcare. I mean, there are so many NHS specialists who regularly abstract themselves from the NHS to take on private work. And to me, that's wrong. To me, that means that operations get pushed back and the waiting lists get longer. So also, I mean, private medical insurance is incredibly expensive and it's out of reach of many, if not most, pensioners. So I inquired about it even when I was at work, and even then it was out of reach. Now, you might agree or disagree, but I also felt I had to consider the optics for the channel. Many of our subscribers are struggling to live on their pensions, and how would it look if I chose to go private when I'm kind of supposed to represent older people and pensioners in particular? Well, I'm afraid that the pain made the decision for me, and last year we were lucky enough to get an amazing offer from Aviva for private health cover. This isn't a paid promotion, it's just a fact. The monthly premium was £76 each, and some of the premiums we've seen coming through were in the hundreds. for each of us. Well, I can tell you it took an awful lot of planning to see if we could actually afford it, but with careful budgeting and cutting back, we found we could. The rationale being that it's all very well living on for years on a pension, but if your health is knackered, then your last remaining years really would just be hanging around in God's waiting room waiting to be called, and that would be pretty miserable. I'm certainly not ready to give up just yet. And whilst I'm doing this by going private, I'm very aware there are people in my position who have no option but to wait and endure. So I guess I'm expecting a mixed reaction to this in the comments. But I was really pleased to be able to choose a surgeon who only does private work. Now that means I've come off the NHS waiting list altogether, and that means someone else can move up and take my place. The upshot is that I'm having the operation next week, and last week I had my pre-op assessment. I'm here for my pre-op assessment at the hospital. So there's 2 weeks to go now before the operation. So it'll be about an hour long. They'll take all my vitals, probably take a swab for MRSA purposes, go through all my medical history and all the rest of it. So I will come back after I've been through all that, and I shall let you know what happened. See you soon. I've just finished the pre-assessment, lasted about an hour and 10 minutes. It was very thorough, a lot of questions asked, and the medical history went through. Blood pressure was taken, MRSA swabs from the nostrils and the groin area. Then there was an ECG and a blood test, and I'll be coming back for another blood test next week. So that's all done. I've been laden up with enough pamphlets to launch a pamphlet library, I think. Loads of information about my stay in the hospital, the physiotherapy, and lots of other information as well. The next time I'm in will be for the blood test, and then the week after that will be for the actual op. So I will see you come the day of the op. Well, hopefully I'll be able to record a good amount of the post-op hospital treatments, such as the physio, and recording at home obviously won't be an issue as I recover there. We'll see how we go. Do let me have your thoughts about posting video diary entries or one complete long-form video. Might even do both. Anyway, that's the situation here. I hope you're going to find this sort of series of video diaries interesting. So that's it for now. Do let me know what you think in the comments. Have you gone through similar sort of things? Have you done health insurance? I mean, I know one thing, the premiums are going to rocket next year and we might not be able to afford it. But anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next time on Grey Matters. Until then, it's bye for now.